All right. Hello, hello, hello. I don't even know if my mic is picking up, though.
It
There it
is.
goes. I can hear myself coming through Discord. Thank you for checking that for me. Uh, wow, I can still hear myself. Either way, hello, everybody. We are going to have 1,000,001 issues tonight, so I hope you guys stick around through them. Our original computer that we used for this stream went down on us sometime between last session and this one, and we have a new system set up, and there are so many things to figure out. So bear with us as we go. Right now we are not running our normal audio through Sirenscape like we normally would. We may turn it on in session, but we want to, make sure we have our settings right before we, get too crazy. We have everybody tonight, so if we can start from the left to the right of what should be on the stream. Top left, can we get Sazid to say hello?
How's it going, folks?
Eclipse.
Ayo.
Heathcliff.
The stream's not catching us.
It's
Or
showing.
it's so much quieter than you.
Is it? Okay, I'll turn it up. That's weird. How now, brown cow?
Sorry, I was waiting for you to come through so that then I could hear myself. It's better.
It's better.
Should be good.
Okay. I can turn it up. I actually turned myself down when all this started, so I set you guys at my exact setting, so I was actually surprised that you guys were having issues. But chat, if you guys hear any struggle there, let us know. All right, moving forward. Well, Heathcliff, say hello.
Oh, sorry. I guess I did stream stuff instead of saying hello. Hello.
Abel Gherkin.
I didn't do it.
Wrong game.
Yeah, we don't believe that for a minute.
Fine, you didn't see me do it. You can't prove anything.
There you go.
Well, I saw a lot. I just don't have any evidence because, I might be a snitch, but I'll never try to prove anything to get my boy in trouble. Come on.
Well, that and I burned most of the evidence, but that's besides the point.
I mean, after all, one of us has to betray you. We have to have done something.
All right. So with that note, Sazid, go ahead and have an inspiration point because you pointed out what is about to be covered in our recap. Our recap will show that our players last session, well over the last few sessions, had left the House of Lament. They had defeated the spectral spirit of Mara that had taken over the house. The spectral spirit? That seems a little redundant, but, we do what we gotta do. They had defeated her. The mists opened up. They had left the house. During said battle, they had lost a friend, Irina. They took to the wagons. They traveled with haste, moving southward out of the hills of Founders Forest. They spent a night looking for the Pretorius estate for a place to rest, ending up in the Ivy Snarl Hills. And at that point, Zazid returned to them. They found themselves nearing a church at nightfall when the undead seemed to be just popping up like daisies. No, out of the ground. I should probably reference Disney or something there if I'm going to quote them, huh? Otherwise I'll probably get in trouble. The undead chased them into this church that they barricaded themselves in, and it's an old rundown church. During this time when they're trying to rest, Eclipse and Sazid stumble upon a cat that was found inside of this church. A cat by the name of Nit, though I believe it was Eclipse that pointed out that Nit is tiny spelled backwards, so I won't be offended if people start calling it tiny. That was not at all what it was. I'm going to straight up give you guys a peek behind the Dungeon Master curtain. I named the cat Destiny and then spun it backwards. So the cat's name is Nit Sid, but I got rid of the Sid, and what was left just was coincidentally Tiny. I didn't even realize it was tiny. So there you go. This is how DMs name things. I'm glad I could teach you guys this. All right, and you know what? I kind of really want to change the cat's name back to Nitsid because that just felt like a solid, random fantasy world cat name. But as they bunkered down in this church and they were playing with the cat, Abel Gherkin had found himself pressed against a trap door to the basement, and this door was being pounded upon repeatedly and presumably by more undead creatures in the basement. Heathcliff, as well as the injured Irina, sort of fortified the front door, and then Irina laid to rest, or not Irina, my apologies, Esmeralda, Es de Avner. She went and rested in one of the former priest's quarters, while Heathcliff leaned against the door and set up post, as more of these zombie creatures sort of wandered around outside. Abel was immediately visited by an old friend, a creature that has come to refer to itself as the Caller, the Gentleman Caller, and even the Lady Caller at one point. A very handsome humanoid, probably human even in appearance, being in white, dress attire. A very beautiful person. I'm talking a charisma 24 if charisma measured just physical appearance. Now, coincidentally, it hasn't taken a form of a dragonkin yet, so perhaps that's why Abel has not been seduced by its attractiveness. Or maybe Abel, when he was doing his paladin thing, his oath was leading towards celibacy. I don't know. Either way, this creature has not entirely gotten Abel's attention. What did come across, however, was a warning that opening the door would lead to a betrayal for Abel. This is a warning that he had received before from this creature. Finally, they open the door. They go through. In the basement of this church, they find a room with tables filled with all sorts of minutia, from dolls to books to puzzle boxes to train tickets. And as our players began to explore around, one such character began to read from a book. And as they read, the green mist swirled in and around them, ripping them through the darkness and depositing them once again back at the House of Lament. They know this location. They've been here before. They find themselves on the landing in the main floor master bedroom. It was in this room that Heathcliff had a personal close encounter. This wheezing, coughing, groaning zombie. Theodore? Theodore, is that you? Begins to cough, asking for the nurse of his wife. This room smelling of medicine. The almost humid feeling of sickness and damp in this room. Now they learned in their original visit here that this man that had died in this room had a lung condition. So here this zombified flesh is confused by their presence. And no sooner does he stand coughing, wheezing at them, do they hear from down below, "You have returned!" The voice of Dranzorg echoing through the building, sensing their presence on the prowl. Players, would you like me to roll a random initiative to determine your guys' go order? Or would anybody like to jump in and add things that I may have missed? The silence tells me to roll a random order.
Yep, I'm good with a random order.
In the marks.
As soon as I find the button, initiative. Oh no, that was terribly placed. Alright, the split screen just caused issues for me.
And it begins.
I also am having a hell of a lag right now. It wasn't there before. There must be something there that wasn't there, but dang it, Disney. Roll NPC, roll all. Roll all. Eclipse, you, sir, are first.
Oh, great.
I have set the scene for you. I have not pulled up a map of the house, but I've set the scene for you. You guys are still carrying the objects you were holding when you were in the basement. You have this coughing, wheezing, and you have this scream from down below.
So that happened. Now I got to figure out what I need to do. As much as I want to try and open the puzzle box, it's probably not the best time for that. Let's see. Trying to figure out, because I don't want to do something too forward, but don't want to do nothing.
No, I mean that's fair.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and attempt to open the puzzle box.
Okay. You're not gonna with a zombie potentially 10 feet away from you?
I'm not 100% sure what's happening here. So
I mean, it's a choice. It's a choice.
It's a choice. That's true words have never been spoken. Scheiße.
Sorry, it's perfect. They're on an ad break right now, apparently.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and... You know what? Screw it. I will use... I hate going first in things like this.
You can say I defer. Like,
I will defer to...
So right now, the way I see it is you're still holding the puzzle box, and it has a lot of your attention. But at the moment, you're not sure whether you should open it, or look around and catch your bearings, or join the rest of the party. So you're just kind of studying it as the turn passes to Sazid.
Yes, we'll go with that.
And if you can click pass turn on the combat tracker for me.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna figure out where that coughing's coming from first, after realizing we're back in the house.
This was, I believe, the first fight that you were part of, wasn't it? The original time?
I think so. Yeah, I appeared in the bed. That's right. So I definitely recognize this room.
Who was holding the ticket?
I was.
Who was?
Eclipse.
Oh, so you were holding like everything. I thought other people were holding things.
Well, I had picked up the ticket to look at it, or one of the tickets to look at when we got teleported.
And Abel was running towards you to grab it, correct? Because I felt like he had said don't touch the... He was saying don't grab the tickets. And that was while Heathcliff was reading.
Last I remember, Abel was going like up the stairs and trying to leave.
Abel, weigh in.
I was trying to leave, but I don't. If we got transported back, I don't want to be. I don't want to stay here.
Okay, we'll get to your turn in a second, and you can point that in because you are actually after Sazid anyways. So, all right, Sazid. So you weren't holding anything at all, Sazid?
I had taken a sword hilt and a like helmet. Just
Okay,
checking out the suit of armor.
gotcha. I remember now. Thank you.
As far as getting out of here, we're gonna have to deal with Dranzord before we do that. And probably, I don't remember this guy's name. The guy coughing.
This is the head of the household, Halvarist, Mr. Halvarist. I've lost his first name out of my brain.
So I'll draw my rapier and get ready and attack and pass turn.
Okay.
Clearly, there's gonna be a fight.
Clearly, he says. No options otherwise. Okay, now I've got to click pass
Just
turn.
because it's true doesn't mean it's not deceptive.
Eclipse, Knit was actually sort of cuddled up on your arms when all of this went down, and sure enough, the cat sort of leaps out from around your arm. You didn't even realize he was still there as you were so enraptured by your puzzle ball or your puzzle box, and he hits the floor just a 4 feet, pad solid, and just meow. He looks up at you, this tiny little cat, and he's looking over at the bed, and the bed has a canopy on it that sort of engulfs it. You hear pounding coming up the stairs. All of you hear this pounding coming up the stairs. I'm coming to find you! And Knit just sort of like startles for a second from the sound and bolts under the bed. And you see sort of a fluff from the side of the bed in the blankets on the side of the bed, as though you think maybe the cat got under the blankets and crawled up onto the bed under the blankets and is currently beneath the canopy, and that is where the coughing sound is coming from. Abel, your turn.
Did the cat find any boots?
At the moment, you don't know what the cat found.
I looked at the party and I was like, we need to get the fuck out of here, like now.
As you're setting it down, Dranzord's on his way.
This is not what I expected to happen from reading a book.
That's what you get for reading.
Hmm.
That's why I never learned how to.
That's why I never learned how to, he says. I just realized something. If I decide to roll dice, you guys will be able to see my dice roll on stream.
If they're watching the stream.
I think I can do something about that, though.
Stop stream.
No, we've got this. We're good. We've totally got this. I hope.
I'm curious now, so I'm watching the stream. It was a thing in a buried tab, but now I'm curious. Yep, there went chat.
Yes, but now I have to do a whole lot of moving over of stuff.
Again.
We all just need to agree to not watch the stream, and then we'll be good, I think.
It's alright, this is, like we said, this is a learning process. What's still there? That's still there. Where's the edge? Oh, that's perfect. That's fine. I can make this work. Did the combat tracker disappear?
No.
Yes. No, I meant from stream. We're good. Now I've just got to adjust the map over on stream. Thank you for your patience. Pardon the construction. I think my map can go all the way to the edge and be fine. Yeah, sweet. Cool. We're good. Continue. My apologies, Abel.
I say that we need to get out of here and start looking for an exit.
You just literally just like piece the fuck out?
Pretty much.
You notice the cat that had been crawling around with the others has run up on the bed. Do you care?
Not in the slightest.
I do.
What, are you going to eat it?
No. What?
You're not trying to impress a vegan chick. You can eat the cat.
I think like this.
She is a cat.
I'm gonna point out that the last time there was a lump on this bed, I nearly cut off the head of a zombie that I didn't know was there, that we then had to fight later. So the fact that the coughing's back and he's talking again tells me that the lump on the bed is not the cat.
No, it was a tiny fluff that crawled up the side. Like it looked like something the size of a softball was moving up beneath the blanket towards the center of the bed.
Terrible.
Right. Yeah. No. Definitely shouldn't give it any water.
The kitten?
Or feed it after midnight.
Oh my
It's not a
goodness.
weapon.
Oh my goodness. All right, so Abel's like, guys, I think we just need to bolt, and starts turning towards the door. Heathcliff.
I agree with Abel and think we need to get out of here. Again.
You didn't bond with the cat.
That is true. I did not bond with the cat. Now, which cat were we talking about?
The one they found in the church.
Tiny.
So not Eclipse the cat.
No. Well, thank you
Knit
for that,
the cat.
by the way.
So what do? You agree with Abel, but do you like just basically be like, no, we're not dealing with the zombie, like peace out?
Unless a compelling argument can be made as to why we should go get the cat, I'm more concerned with how badly we got trounced by Druzzl the last time we actually tried to fight him. Well, the first time we tried to fight him.
For 17,000 times we tried to find him.
I believe you guys have only fought him twice.
Twice. And the second time, I think we trounced him, so...
I think we can do it again.
We used all of our slots and spells, and like we were pretty much exhausted afterwards and had nothing left.
That is very true.
I also believe you guys were all a level lower.
I suggest we fight him here where he comes to us instead of trying to run.
If we fight him in this room, we may end up fighting two things at once.
Everybody roll me an intelligence check. History is probably the preferable, but an intelligence check.
Can you roll for him? Yeah.
I can roll for you.
14.
12.
Eclipse, you remember that, and it's up to you whether you want to point it out to the party or not, because you've withheld information before, but you remember that after the last time you guys fought him, you got your hands on Mara's crimson armor, and that you have all as a party been informed that it provides it is a weakness for Dranzorg. The Dranzorg is weak to the armor.
Yeah, I'd let everyone know that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and
Do we have time to put it on?
It's already on. Abel's wearing it.
Oh,
What do I hear in the background somewhere?
Sawyer's YouTube.
Ah. For
I was
shame,
putting together
Soya. She should be watching Twitch. Alright. So, Eclipse, basically at the bottom of initiative, we can either roll to the next turn, or you can use your sort of paused action to be like, oh yeah, I just remembered.
yeah, I'll use my pause action to go ahead and let everyone know, hey, you know that armor you got on? Remember, guy downstairs doesn't like it too much.
Yeah, and
So I'm not 100% worried about fighting him again with you wearing that thing.
I don't like house.
I just want my cat back.
Well, so it sounds like, for the most part, everybody wants to bolt out the door. Except you, who wants to get the cat, Eclipse.
This is true.
Heathcliff has even started to make gestures towards moving towards the door as well. Heathcliff, can you pass turn for me?
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. Alright. Eclipse, do you head for the bed knowing that that's where the zombie is?
100%.
You just say, no, fuck this, I'm saving my cat.
Yes.
Sazid, yes or no question, do you head towards the bed? Or do you head towards the door?
Help Eclipse get his cat.
Eclipse, K. Abel, you're moving towards the door?
Yes.
And Heathcliff, you're moving behind Abel?
Yep.
Okay.
We're splitting the party.
In one room.
Eclipse, as you reach the fabric of the bed, you reach out to sort of grab the canopy and snatch it open. You hear a squelching, crunching sound, just a cracking noise of bones crunching. There is a gagging sound that is very... It sounds like the coughing, but it has expanded into this gagging, choking sound. And, like I say, a squelching, almost wet noise and a crunch. Sazid, you grab hold of... you get up right beside him as it opens. Abel, you open the door, and there's a shadow in the doorway immediately. Now, the room that you're in is lit up, casting light out into the hallway, but your figure is just blocking it. There is someone standing, I'm talking an inch in front of you when you open the door. It's that moment where you're sort of both reaching for the handle.
Oh, knee-jerk reaction, I stab him.
Heathcliff, you see Abel draw his sword and just swing.
I'd probably fire
I pause.
if I could.
Abel, I'm going to ask you if you would like to not do that, or if you want to still do that, and I'm going to explain it as thus. Your character's a paladin. You were trained for even knee-jerk reactions for weapon control.
Fair.
Would you, because we've never seen you drop composure like quite like that before, so it's up to you if you sort of have that in character break of character moment, because that's a role play.
Before I used my weapon.
You what?
I would slam the door before I used the weapon.
So you just slam the door back in his face?
Yeah.
My hands would be glowing.
Heathcliff, you make your hands glow, ready at a weapon.
They're ready to go. Yep.
But that's it though. You just at whatever was behind the door.
It's.
You have dark vision, correct?
Yes.
Would you like to roll me a perception check?
If I can find it.
Hey.
Nat 20 for 25.
On the other side of the door is a human man. Probably in his 50s or 60s. Alive, not a zombie. He has lines on his face, and that's what gives away his age. But otherwise, he seems to be in great shape. He has a goatee and mustache that is a pointed mustache out at the sides, and a very pointed goatee at the bottom, and it's all stark white. And he also has stark white hair as well that's just sort of parted in the middle, that drops sort of over the sides of his head. And in his left hand is an axe that you see is covered with, you notice because you nat 20'd, you see is covered with ichor that is identical to the ichor from killing the boneless creatures, the ones that kept being summoned with Dranzorg. So it's obvious to you immediately that this weapon has been used on those kinds of creatures. What else? His right hand is holding a lamp that was not lit, but was in his hand. And as the door slammed, you actually, with that perception, you hear the clank of that lantern against the door, and then the shattering of glass as it hits the floor. I'll go ahead and give away that you even hear him swear through the door, but it's just a human man.
I would like to say, hey, wait a minute. Before we
Remember, it's all kind of immediate, so shorthand it.
attack this guy through the door, he looked like he just took out the boneless slime things that accompanied Dranzorg.
So you try to relay really fast that this guy might be an ally.
Yeah.
Abel, what's your passive insight?
I'm not at my computer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Insight. Your passive insight is 13. Abel, you hear him say that to you, that like this guy's an ally, but he's trying to get this point across to you so fast that at the moment you're not really sure what to think. The bed.
If I have a choice to react to what he said, I would open the door, pull the guy in, and close the door again.
Yeah, which we may have that moment. But this is still on that immediate dealing with like knee-jerk reactions and whatnot, because we still haven't completed. This is all over a matter of the last 6 seconds of you guys moving to your respective spots. Eclipse, you yank the fabric off the side of the bed, and in a puddle of gory goo sits a tiny little cat.
Like alive or
just looking up at you, covered in goo, like, why am I covered in goo? That's the only look it has on its face. Like, why have I been gooed? There's nothing else there. There are no signs of a zombie ever having been there. There is no coughing creature. There is just this tiny little ball of fluff in a puddle of goo.
Let's see. Do I have
It does look like I have a set of clothes in my bag. I'll go ahead and grab that and try to grab the cat with it so I can clean it.
You do know that Dranzork's supposed to be coming up the stairs behind you, and you hear the slamming of the door. So you reach for the cat and, like, calmly try to clean it, or do you just, like, pick this cat up and try to wrap it in a towel?
I try to wrap it in a towel.
Okay. Sazid, you see this go down. There's a cat sitting there where a creature should have been after you guys hear the sound of eating.
I'm gonna be like, where'd the zombie go? As far as to lift up the covers and look under the bed.
There's nothing, just a pile of goo.
Where did he go?
Abel, it sets in what he said, that this guy's potentially an ally and has killed some of the boneless. Do you open the door?
Open the door, grab him in, slam the door.
Unhand me, good sir, as he's just yanked into the room.
I unhand him, but I'm doing it while he's in the room. Like, I throw him in and let him be.
Okay. I need to roll a dice. He falls flat on his butt when you yank him into the room, because, like I said, he is an older gentleman, and he just sort of flops on the floor. The axe sort of tumbles out of its hand, clank, 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 clacking on the floor. He is right beside you, Heathcliff. This man has been thrown at your feet as the door has been slammed again.
I'm gonna help him up.
Why, thank you, sir. Boy, I got to give everybody the right accidents. Right accidents? The right accents.
Right accident.
Wow, that happened. You guys heard that. I apologize. All right.
Question is, what's a wrong accident in this case?
Right? No, wrong. Anyways. For I do not understand it is that you have pulled me into this room. Where did the creature go? And he sort of reaches down and picks up the axe, and he's scanning the room ready to attack something as you've helped him up.
I'll respond to him and say, that's what I'm wondering.
I'm gonna ask which creature, because two of us were just getting ready to bolt, potentially deal with the one in the hallway.
He goes, well, it is Dranzork, of course, who is in the hallway. He is making his way here now. We must take out the second request from the seance. Has all of your memories gone balmy?
I love this guy so far.
I'm really glad I didn't decapitate him.
Right?
No, if he could still talk, that would make it even funnier.
Eclipse, reaction to this man. He has asked you guys if you've all gone crazy. He acts completely like he knows you. That we have had a second seance, and the second seance requires us to do something before we can deal with Dranzork.
I'm gonna try. I think I'm making a connection here. The guy is speaking in a somewhat German accent, and you happen to read a book that was like German fairy tales.
Now, do you try to explain that in game? Or are you asking me out of game?
Well, no. It's kind of hard to describe that in game since Germany doesn't exist in this world. Let's see. Was I able to pick up Tiny?
Yes, you have Tiny scooped
Okay.
up.
Good. So now I can focus on something else. Anyway. Trying to think of the best way to approach this.
While Eclipse is stumped for a second, I'm gonna say, but our second request was to deal with the Leaper.
This man looks at you entirely confused. He says, "No, just this morning when we did this. The one... crap, what was his name? What did Dranzorg pretend his name was? My brain just farted.
I'd have to go look that up in my notes.
Even
Steven.
No, it started with an M, I want to say.
I can pull it up.
Mara.
No, Mara was the woman.
Yeah.
Garland. Now that it's over here trying to load.
Yep.
And glitching everything out. Now that I don't need it, it's because I had to pull up modules, the hardest thing, the heaviest piece of software for this to pull up.
Maybe you should just leave the modules
Window open.
piece open.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
you don't have to load it every single time.
As long as the stream's not frozen while it's going.
No, stream's good.
I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to go ahead and cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You'll be casting that while the rest of the conversation's going on, so give me 1 minute. My server is just, I've white screened, and I've got a spinny wheel.
Oh, fantastic.
That's what happened when the module tried to open.
I mean, you're dropping frames occasionally, but it's not too bad.
Is the mouse still moving on the screen?
No.
Yeah.
No, the only thing we can see is the map.
Yep. So House of Lament. Aha! There it goes. It finally opened.
Wait, you shared a map? I never got a map.
No, he's got the
Borka map up
overworld
on
map
stream.
up. Yeah, on the stream.
Which you guys all should have the ability to open.
Yep. I got mom bookmarked.
Reference manual. Hey, that's up on stream. Boop. I shouldn't need to open any more modules. So. I can even pull up a map now for real if you guys want. If it would help the visual.
Up to you.
Sure, why not? We should be on battle map floor 2. Sharing, share record. Stream's probably like, why didn't we already have something up? Theater of the Mind is crap. Well, you know what, guys? Bleh. Now I gotta get tokens on the map. Sazid's there. Ah, nope, Sazid, you were next to... Put it back where I had you. 1 square down.
I thought it was where you had me.
Put him back where you found him.
Able is on the map. Come on,
Take your
token.
dancing classes for the next 35 seconds.
We're listening to what?
And that's it. You're fired and grounded. No fire dancing lessons for the next 35 seconds.
Oh, and I gotta find a token for our good friend. Oh,
Is he a good friend or just an innocent old man?
you know what? You know what? I actually might be able to. This would be awesome. Please be in here. Make my day. I might have a character sheet for the old man.
I mean, from what I could see, he was in the picture.
Huh?
Isn't he in the picture that you have as a background?
I don't think so. Give me a second to check. If he is, you may have just earned another inspiration point. Give me 1 second.
I think he's correct.
You guys don't even know who the guy is.
Nope. But it looks like him and Ez versus Strahd
Rod.
in a castle.
What the crap it is! Have your inspiration point. Oh, look, you're
It
full.
needs to go to somebody else if they don't have one.
Abel's the only one who doesn't have one, so now the entire party has inspiration.
All because we noticed Van Helsing.
Who's Van
Essentially,
Helsing?
yeah.
Van Helsing is not a person. I wonder.
It's more of a deal.
There is supposed to be a picture of him that's loadable, but the link isn't correct in his bio on his thing.
Wow.
However, I do have a token for him. I just found. Oh, Ed, look, he's also wearing glasses. No pointed mustache. There you go. Ta-da, you have a map. It exists. You're welcome.
Huzzah.
Okay, so Eclipse is working on Detect Magic. Sazid, you and the cat are... Or rather, Sazid, you are... What you doing, Sazid?
I am now curious who this guy over here is, so let's go ask him who he is and where he came from.
You just walk up and ask, who are you and where did you come from? Just flat out.
Yeah.
He turns around and he goes, Sazid, my friend, how is it you do not remember? Did he get bumped on the head again? Of course, every time. And this man leans in, barehanded, reaches up, pulls your hood off, and like his hand is stroking the side of your head like he's looking for an injury. And he seems to be somehow miraculously unaffected by your condition.
I'm gonna like look at him with this like absolutely shocked and floored look on my face that he's able to touch the seed.
Who read the book?
I did.
I slap you in the face and say, no more reading of books.
I put the book in Gherkin in Abel's backpack.
You just reach over and hand it to him, like, "Yep, I'm
No, I
done."
literally like reach over and just like put it in his backpack.
Not my book, not my problem.
For that matter, I put it in his backpack. I don't even know what that was because I did it to you.
Oh, you did it in the tower. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I accept it. At the moment, what matters is you succeed.
Okay.
It is in his backpack.
I'll so look around to the rest of the party and be like, is no one else concerned who this guy is?
He says,
We all
"It is
came
I,
together.
it is Rudolph. How is it you do not remember me?
You just
I
transported here.
have paid you 40 gold. 20 gold for each night we have stayed in this place already. If you wish to receive tomorrow's payment, you better remember that we have a contract." This guy is acting as though he has the same contract with you guys and remembers all of you. He even said your name.
That we had with
That you had with Ez and Irina.
We made a deal with
the
two
devil.
women. There was no man here.
Well,
There have been no women in this house since Mara, or perhaps the Lady Halvarus herself, when they died. That is it. This is not the place for the fair folk, he says in a very sexist tone. At this point, Heathcliff and Gherkin, it is coming to your side of the conversation.
I have two things I want to ask, but
Yep, we'll get there. Abel, you are looking at Rudolph, the man who called himself Rudolph, and you are looking at Heathcliff, and you have just slapped Heathcliff, the whole thing. And as you are looking forward, you feel this chill wind as though there was no door behind you, as though you were just hit by a gust of icy wind, winter wind. But it passes through you and across your entire body, and then immediately in front of you, in the square adjacent to Druzzl, this thing that has just passed through you, stands a young man almost identical to Rudolph. So familiar to Rudolph in appearance, but this man is obviously a spirit. And you see him, and Druzzl, as this thing comes through the door, you see him, and in fact everyone else sees him, but Rudolph doesn't seem to see him. And the boy says quietly, "He's not going to listen. He's not like us." Abel, it is your turn. And remember, the man cannot see this spirit.
hang on a second. Say, pardon us in our time that we've been separated. Some strange happenings have occurred.
"Indeed, I should think so," the man says. "After all, Mr. What does he say? After all, Sir Gherkin, that contract you've made upon the blade you found, I imagine you'll see a great many dark things in the days ahead. Kindly remember that." And this man looks at you with almost disdain. And he says, "Kindly remember that if you continue to attract such strangeness, you may count yourself as an enemy, as I warned you before." And this guy's acting like you guys have had some sort of conversation in the past, and that he's threatened you to basically keep your act together ever since you made your Hexblade contract. You don't remember any of this, obviously.
Very true.
This guy is basically presenting himself. Everybody's insight's high enough. This guy's presenting himself as like a monster hunter. And by taking on that contract, you're potentially a monster yourself. And you guys also see that he's obviously must know something. After all, he was able to touch Sazid and take no damage.
So he's a monster hunter with skills.
Abel, do you have anything else to say before I pass to Heathcliff?
No, I do not.
Heathcliff, there's a ghost standing next to you on one side that the man doesn't see, doesn't react to. And he is cautioned that the man is not going to understand what's going on.
Okay, I have 3 questions. I turn to Eclipse and I go, "What happened to the zombie?" And immediately following that, without letting Eclipse answer at all, I turn to the old man and I say, "What year is it?" And again, immediately following that, without letting him respond, I look sideways towards the spirit and go, "What do you mean, like you?"
So you just like, I'm laying it all out on the table. We're not playing the mystery game. We're not doing mysteries. We're just, what is going on?
Not in this house, not anymore.
I love it. That is brilliant. I respect it. That's a hell of an approach to take, honestly. I'm proud of you for taking that approach.
Like we pull this guy through the door. I'm not even sure I heard crunching on the bed. All I know is I turn around and like it's open and there's a pile of
you had a nat 20 on your perception at the door.
Oh, yeah,
you heard everything that happened on the bed. In fact, you heard detail so excruciating that you would realize that the crunching was too much, too big, and too loud to have ever considered it that it was the cat that was eaten. You would think that whatever was eaten was probably the size of a man.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the cat and go, "Flurkin?"
I was kind of expecting you to look at the cat when you asked, where did the zombie go?
I mean, considering the cat is in Eclipse's arms currently, looking at Eclipse made more sense.
Fair. All you get from the cat is meow. Meow.
Fantastic.
Remind me to ask you a question about cats after the game.
Who are you asking?
You.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to do with this game, so I'll ask it later, but I do have a question.
Okay, I'll remember that. All right, and you must also try to remember that.
Yes.
All right, so Heathcliff, in response to your questions, the cat obviously mews, but Rudolph looks up and says, he kind of like looks over your shoulder to where you're looking, and his eyes go out of focus for just a moment, and you see just like a gentle smile drift on his face, and the man suddenly looks a little less old and a little less angry and a little bit more like a father figure. But then his eyes come back into focus and he looks past the middle distance as though he does not see the boy. And he just sort of looks at you and says, as though just like he has ignored you asking the question to the boy, and says, the creature is what we've come up here to destroy. We must destroy him before we take on Tranzorg. So I agree with you. Where is this creature? And he just kind of starts moving towards the bed, and then and he says, as for the year, why, it's the same year it was when we entered, 782.
Pwah.
The hand that was, and you know you're from 1490, 1492, 1494. We just had Indigenous Peoples Day. It was 1492. Let's do it.
In just a brief interruption. In my reading of the books that gave me the general working knowledge of the house, were there any events in there from 1782?
No, there were no
Yeah.
dates marked.
I had to check.
So, all right, top of initiative. You hear a pounding again on the stairs and a thudding in the hallway. Where are you? Eclipse, your turn. The cat is in hand.
I'm still casting detect magic.
Yes, detect magic is off. You're looking around the room. You can detect that the red crimson armor that Abel is wearing is got a magical aura on it. The cat has a magical aura on it, and then the magical items that you guys have picked up have a magical aura on it. The old man's got faint magical auras, nothing very strong. Um, I would say that you'd recognize that something's coming from his face, and you can see the only thing he's wearing on his face is the glasses. Um, the axe has a magical aura to it.
What was the last bit?
The axe has a magical aura to it.
So looking at it, detect magic, I can learn at School of Magic.
Mhm.
What's Tiny's School of Magic?
Illusion.
Oh, great. I have Illusion Kitty. Got it.
Yeah. Do you try to like dig any deeper? Do you want to roll like an Arcana check on it because that's how I sort of do detect magic. If you want to figure out any more information.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's see, Arcana. There you are. And
And I need to look at her stats. My mouse will go where I tell it to. It's weird. I'm only lagging on one monitor.
That's strange.
Just out of curiosity, is that the monitor that's being recorded?
No. Are you laughing because that's weird, or
Yeah, I love tech problems.
Right.
They're never something simple.
this cat has transform. The end of another creature's turn. Legendary actions. Okay, as you are digging deep with a 17, you actually realize the whole room begins to fade out from view till all you can see is this cat. And this kitten is just leaning in and meow, 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 meow. What's that?
It's a really good impression of a duck.
Did something come through sounding weird, or did you guys not hear the meow? Or
I heard the meows. Fine.
And it started sounding like a cat.
Gotcha. And as this is going on, like everything blurs, the lines and edges blur, and you see this cat in intense high definition focus, 3D, high def, 4K HD. It's sticking out in your vision, and the whole room can hear the imperfect, almost metronome rhythm, just meow, 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 meow. And everyone can hear this, but what you hear in your head as the cat's head just tilts ever so slightly. Boy, I wouldn't look too closely if I were you.
Elmer Fudd?
And then the cat takes a long lick of its arm down to its paw. Meow! And it reaches out, and it, as quick as anything you've ever seen, takes a hook at your nose with its tiny little kitten claw. Because you've annoyed it effectively, because you're looking at it too closely. And I am looking for, there it is. Roll in the thing. Oh! Oh! The cat nat one.
Did it do a cute little bap on the nose?
This scene didn't play out like it was supposed to. The cat reaches out hyper aggressively. You're still zoomed in on your vision, and so this cat arm just seems to stretch on forever as it reaches through the air between it and your face. And that arm just extends further and further and further and further and further and further until it reaches out with aggressive tendency, like it's just going to rip your nose off. You know, you see it coming as this whole change in perspective is occurring in your vision because of the magic as you're looking in on it. And as it swings to deal this massive amount of damage, you receive a bap on the nose and take nothing.
Yay!
Everything goes back to normal vision, and your detect magic is off. The spell is just stopped.
I mean, it talked to me, so that's fantastic.
Your pocket is vibrating. The crystal in your pocket is vibrating, and it's not saying anything to you, but the vibration, you realize, feels less like the vibration of communication and more like the quiver of fear. Sazid, what would you like to do for your turn?
Well,
So we got to decide if we're gonna avoid Dranzorg or fight him.
Do you say that in game?
Yes.
Well, if my name wasn't Van Richten, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And this man's hands are still kind of on your face. And he just, like, baps you. And he goes, of course we must take on Dranzorg. It is the only way the mists will open so that we can leave. The house has reached its final stage. There is no safe rooms left. We have not found the emissary, the dark crystal that controls this place. We only know the spirits that lead it. We were unable to find Mara. We were unable to find the mother and release the children. Our only option is the death of Dranzorg if we wish to clear this place.
I pull out my sword in the ready stance and say, "All right, a fight it must be."
Boy, it wasn't your turn yet.
I really want to point out that we know where the mother and the kids are.
I was literally just gonna point that out.
But at the same time, considering we're 700 years before our time, I'm not sure we should.
True. Don't mess with the timeline.
Oh, we're about to mess with the timeline taking on Dranzorg.
The boy says, the timelines don't matter. My father would explain this if he only understood. You're in the domains. Each one is different. You say you've been here before? He asks, just sort of out loud. Sazid, is there anything else you're going to do with your turn?
Or respond to the spirit, say, yeah, we just left maybe 2 days ago.
Van Richten turns to you and he looks at you like, who the hell are you talking to? So Sazid left. We just dealt with this like 2 days ago. It was actually 4 days ago, but you did miss 2 days. Abel.
Now's when I'll pull out my sword and say, it looks like a fight's on our hands.
So you're going to let them have their conversation, but you're ready to fight Transorg?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing else, though? You're just prepping?
Yep.
Heathcliff, he's prepping. The ghost has explained a little more.
Timelines don't matter. Well, so I'd be mumbling this kind of under my breath as I'm gonna step behind Abel and ready both of my shots. But my brain is with all of this, my brain's kind of fried and still trying to process everything, and so I'm kind of mumbling some of it under my breath as I process through it.
The boy says, like any haunting, the domains of dread, they are all but temporary. Even when defeated, they always return. You say, he looks at Sazid, you say it has been a couple of days. Then it is possible you did not successfully clear the house. And he's saying all this in a very sort of Eeyore sort of way. Like, he looks depressed as he's just sort of free-floating there. And he says, it's very possible the house has simply woken up again in your absence. My father made his way here not knowing what you and your friends had done before. But this place expected you, as it expected me and expected him. We all have our roles to play within the domains. He is not like us. He is bound by the story. We are free to make decisions. As the man is saying this, you realize he is not free to make decisions. He might seem independent and free, but you guys immediately can all tell, anyone sort of outside the picture that's experienced what you guys have can tell, that he actually is bound by being stuck to his father. It's very obvious to you guys that that's what he's bound by, not the confines of a domain. And but yeah, it basically explains that unless you've actually defeated the house, it won't stay gone.
As my companion alluded to earlier, it was also technically in the future.
We also really kind of ran out without making sure that stuff was taken care of because a companion had fallen.
Well, somebody could ask the guy how you put the house completely to rest, because you guys obviously know things about this place that Van Richten doesn't. He, in fact, mentioned something moments ago about not being able to find specific things in the house.
One of them being Mara.
Yeah, he mentioned Mara, he mentioned the mother, but he mentioned something else.
The children.
Well, he said the Mara, the mother, and the children. So that's two separate things. But then he mentioned something else. Yes, he did reference the crystal,
which we didn't destroy.
So, Eclipse, it is your turn. The cat has sort of released you from this lock. Also, did you guys like the introduction of my Uwu character? Silence. That's not a good sign.
Well, someone said it sounded like Elmer Fudd.
That's a lot like what those characters sound like, yeah.
I'll whisper to the kitten real quick. Is like, you and me need to have a chat later.
It bites your finger indignantly. As though to say you don't get to tell me when we're gonna talk.
To be fair, I didn't say when. I just said later. It's not like we need to talk earlier.
The party also needs to decide if you guys are gonna wait for him to come here to fight him, since the door is currently closed, or if you guys are gonna go out after him. We have 2 people posted up on the door.
We probably can, I would say, wait in here, because who knows that's out there. The house could have changed since we last were here in the future. It's a weird sentence.
Or the past.
But I am pro to just stationing up and preparing for battle in here.
Seems a more defensible position.
Exactly. And you know me, defense is on my game. And so after saying that, I will just go ahead and use my Vigilance Blessing and pass turn.
Click it for me if you would. Sazid.
They're preparing for a fight.
So it would seem.
Well, we're all assuming Dranzorg's going to come through the door they're stacked up on. But there is another way in if he goes around.
If he even leaves the hallways. We don't know what he did downstairs while we were waiting for him to essentially move around. But he never came up the tower.
We also did learn when we were here before that the only reason he didn't enter the room downstairs is because of what Ez had done. He enchanted the room so he couldn't enter. Other than that, we were left to assume he had free reign of the house.
We don't know that she did that. All she told us was that room was a safe room. She never really told us why.
Because we took her at her word?
We did, which is fine. But we don't know why at that time that particular room was the safe room of the house. Why he never entered that room.
Do you guys say all
time-
of this like in game, like around Van Richten? Because presumably he has the same safe room.
I would think that we would be having this conversation in game. That was my thought on it. That's the way that I was approaching it.
Van
Same.
Richten goes, as I explained to you on the first night, you really have terrible memories. The parlor is the heart of the house. It is it entertains the most guests. It is one of the warmest spirits. It is hard for darkness to enter such places, not impossible. Which is why I am not in there now. And he looks down at his bloodied axe. It's quite obvious that he's suggesting that the parlor is not currently safe.
I say we draw him in and prepare for a fight.
Hold up. Before we do that, I want to go check something.
Okay.
And I move towards the door that's behind Sazid.
Yep. What would you like to do with the door?
I want to go through it, and I want to check the fireplace. For the witch's bones. I need to know now.
Yeah, you can double move. You can get all the way to the fireplace.
Okay. And I remember they were down, so I'm going to look down towards the kitchen.
The moment you touch that and lean in, it lights. Do you remember what happened when you put it out?
And we fought the witch. Or we fought her spirit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna leave
it just lit on its own, so that should tell you something.
I'm gonna leave it lit, and I'm gonna head back. And I guess I should stand in an actual square. I'm gonna head back and basically say, "Well, I think the witch is still here because the fire lit all by itself before I could even check the chimney."
Van Richten looks up. Vitch, what Vitch? He seems immediately shocked, like, what the hell are you talking about? All right, so Sazid and Heathcliff have done things. Abel, you're ready to go out the door, or are you going to wait for him to come in it?
I'm gonna wait for him to come in.
Are you going to back away from the door to give him room to enter, or are you going to, like,
Yes.
pin at the door so he has to fight through you to get in?
I'm gonna let him come in.
Do I have? I know it's not my turn, and I know I just did stuff, but do I feel like I have some time before Dranzorg potentially comes in the room?
A turn or two at most.
What I would do is
And
I'd
that's
take
an
a
estimate.
Chair. I'd take a chair and prop it up against the door.
No, I was thinking these doors open in or out.
They actually swing both ways.
I'd put a rope, tie a rope behind the door at about shin height, and then start yelling for Dranzorg to come get us,
It's like through the bathroom.
like on all three doors. Since we don't know exactly where he is, he could be in one of the rooms.
might are you trying to like rig a trap like a trip hazard?
Yeah.
That's going to take a turn on its own. Like
Can
a full action to
Can I quickly explain it to everyone and hope that we can all get a door? What I want to do? If not, I would do the door to the hallway.
it's up
That's
to
the
them
most
if they'll
likely.
help you, but you run for the door to the hallway to set a booby trap.
And be like, hey, if we do this, we may get some free crit hits on him because it'll trip him. Maybe. Theoretically.
Okay. I need everyone to roll me initiative, an actual initiative, please.
Okay. And I get advantage.
Yeah, please.
Yep, I'll roll you. I've got to pull up the Dranzorg stats.
Nat 20 initiative. Woo.
Jeez.
Watch out with that initiative number, that +1. That's going to get me places. Very slowly, but it'll get me there.
Encounter, there it is. Alright, did it go in where it's supposed to on the combat tracker? No, of course not. Why are you not going? Fine, we'll do it from here. I win.
I heard the school side piece in there.
Alright, I'm gonna reshare the picture of Dalk so you guys know what's coming for you.
Yay.
Oh my goodness, laggy second monitor doesn't make sense.
Hey, that guy looks familiar.
Yeah, we'll need to look into that later.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get rid of some of this extra stuff I have. Maybe it'll help. It did actually, look at that. Not much. But enough to make a difference. Okay. Now Heathcliff has run to the door, so we're going to start actually partway through initiative order. Because he's down at the bottom.
The one time I roll a crit on initiative.
Don't even go first.
Ah.
Unfortunate. Heathcliff, roll me. Let's go with it's a tools check, so it's be a dexterity or intelligence. Do you have tinker tools or smith tools or anything like that? Tinker tools would probably be the best way to do it. This includes, or you just because there's not really anything to just tie the rope across to.
No, I really only have thieves tools. And I was thinking more of like I mean it is a trap, but
Tools will give you proficiency in it. Without tools, you don't have proficiency in it. That's just all there is to it. It's how that works. I'm trying to figure out if you're getting proficiency. I'll allow thieves tools to grant proficiency, but you have to roll it with disadvantage, or nah, fuck it. I'll let thieves tools. I'll let thieves tools. Why not? Thieves tools works. You can roll proficiency with it.
10.
His is a 10. All right, pass turn for me.
Sure.
Sazid, he said set up a trip hazard. Are you going to set up a trip hazard, or what would you like to do for your turn?
Well, I'll set up a trip hazard on the store over here.
Same thing, dex check. If you've got any sort of tools that would fit with rigging said trap, you can roll that as a proficiency. What kind of tools do you have?
I don't think I have any.
Okay. Then roll away as a dex
No.
check.
Would be under ability. No skills.
You guys like rolling twos.
Apparently. Either that or apparently these traps are not supposed to actually function. One of the two.
Sazid, press down on the turn indicator, please. Eclipse. We're at the top of initiative. The two of them you see go about rigging traps, but it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Let's see.
Knit has leapt out of your hands and is on the floor.
I forgot to mark this because I cast a spell. Let's go ahead and what do I want to do for trap wise? Let's
You
see, this,
remember this guy that you guys are about to fight, your radiant damage is what really wrecked him last time.
yes. So that's 1 minute. I will go ahead and prepare by going into my wild shape, archer form. And I will go ahead and end my turn there.
Give me 1 second.
Did we skip Abel's turn?
I think so.
Abel and Eclipse go at the exact same time.
Next question. Did Abel roll initiative?
He's
I
got.
wasn't here.
He nat 20'd his initiative as well.
Okay.
Like I said, they go at the same time. So Abel, it is your turn.
Alrighty. I think I'll assist with the traps.
So you're gonna run over to the other door that nobody's on yet?
Yeah.
Let's get everybody in squares. Okay. Everybody's in squares. Alright. I need from you a dexterity check. Do you know any tools?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I need you to roll for me.
Yep. Okay, so for the record, you got a 5.
Oh, that's no fun. How about I use my inspiration?
Okay.
Roll better.
Well, if it helps, Sazid only got a 4. Cool, you got a 9, which is still 1 less than Heathcliff got. Because Heathcliff only got a 10.
We think they're great.
I'm gonna go with Abel and Sazid are very aware that their traps aren't gonna do anything. You know that you've set a trap, you don't know how it's gonna work. Alright. The cat just sort of runs over here and is sniffing around by the fireplace under the chair. Heathcliff, it is your turn. Oh, yeah, it is your turn.
I'm gonna back up 10 feet and ready both hands for any threats that enter the room.
If a threat enters the room, you're going to use your reaction to do what specifically?
Shoot them twice.
You can
Actually, shoot them
you can
once. I'm
rig
gonna
an
have
action is what you can do.
I'm gonna have my short sword in my offhand, and I'm gonna have ready to bolt to fire, even knowing that it's not gonna do a whole lot against Dranzorg.
Okay. Sazid, your turn.
I actually stepped closer to the door. Am I in a square there?
Nope.
1 up. Yeah, there we are. And as Heathcliff did, draw my rapier and ready an attack for when he comes through the door.
Down button, please. Eclipse. It has gone eerily silent out in the hallway. It's as though you're in the calm moment before the storm. It's at any moment, any one of these 3 doors could be blown open. What do you do?
Let's see, this lasts how many turns?
I love the anticipation you guys are stuck with because you just don't know when he's going to pop through the door.
For
I
the
guess-
time being, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and defer my turn.
Okay, well, we're in combat initiative now. So for deferring your turn, are you readying in action?
Well, I mean, I guess I can. That's a bonus action. Can I ready one of my archer arrows?
Yeah, you can do the same thing everybody else has done. The whole I'll fire a shot if he enters the room thing.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay. Abel Gherkin. He still hasn't come through the door. You also notice the eerie silence.
I think I'm gonna hold my action, and if he comes through the door, I'm going to attack him with the sword.
Okay. Anything else?
And that may include running up to him if he comes through a door I'm not at. And no, nothing else.
Okay. You guys notice that Knit, in this silence, you hear this rattling noise, and all of you notice that Knit has got a hold of both the puzzle box and the ticket from the church, and is laying on the floor, batting them back and forth beneath the chair.
Don't play with those. Because everyone knows scolding a cat works wonders every time.
That's it. That's all you give them is don't play with those. Does anybody else react? Did somebody say something? It kind of got like staticky there.
See, let's. Fine as he is at the moment.
Yeah, you guys are just going to let him play with these things that may open doors to other worlds?
I'm more worried about the puzzle box just because I don't want him ruining the puzzle box.
The man makes his way over. Oh, well, that was stupid. It skipped. That wasn't supposed to happen. Go back to the correct turn. It skipped Dulk. So I wasn't going to let him go. Van Richten moves towards the cat, curious about what the cat is playing with. No sooner than Van Richten has stepped away from the door, does this door kick open and Dulk step in. Found you! Best game of hide and seek these many years. But guess what? And as he says this, he holds out his hand, and the axe that Van Richten has been wielding snatches away from the old man. And it snatches with such force it actually flings the old man to the ground, and you guys hear a thud and a cracking noise, and the old man isn't moving. The axe levitates and hovers for just a moment before flying through the air to the old man's, or to the knight's hand.
The older man's hand.
Yeah, the skull-faced knight's hand. And he looks around the room, and at this point, a whole bunch of reactions go off. Heathcliff, yours was triggered first.
So it's a main hand. 24 to hit.
That is a hit. You can go ahead and roll your damage on him.
for 9 damage, which is reduced to 4.
Which is partially resisted. As you remember, he is not weak to psychic.
I didn't have time to pull a second blade,
Yeah.
so yeah, I knew it wasn't going to hit very hard. but it was
Sazid. Are you going to use your triggered reaction?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to hit him with my touch of death. I don't remember
Okay.
what that roll was.
That's a melee attack.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna have. You would have to run up and smack him. You're not close enough to do that. No, you don't get to move.
Oh,
You can take a ranged attack, but yours was
I
with.
didn't have my bow drawn.
Oh, then why'd you say you had something readied for when he enters the room?
I was thinking I could take a step forward and stab.
Ah. Well, I will let you retcon that you have your bow drawn because I assumed you did when you said you readied an attack because that was the only attack you would have been able to use from there.
Alright. For a 18 to hit.
That's a hit. You can roll your damage on him.
7 damage, which is...
Not
Does that go to
resisted.
9? Not resisted. Good to know.
Alright, that brings us to the radiant attack. Eclipse.
There's that. I go ahead and use my inspiration for that.
Okay. Re-rolling, see what we get. For a nat 1, your spell feeds back to you, doing its damage and effects on yourself. If this action is impossible, your original opponent receives an action point. You shot yourself in the face with your magical archer arrow. Roll your damage on yourself.
Then I also have to do my dark pact thing.
Your what?
My dark pact.
What is your dark pact?
It is. Let's see where I put it. The sharing the body with an intangible otherworldly force.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want me to do my damage first before that or after?
Oh, go ahead and roll your damage. Ah.
Okay. That is not you. That's not there. Ouch.
I was confused when you said dark pact. It's dark gift.
Gift. That's it. And I max damaged myself because of course I did.
Woof. You are incapacitated until the start of your next turn, sir. Memories and sensations overwhelm you. You see Innistrad. You specifically see Hanweir, where you're from, and you are seeing it as though you were looking from the perspective of the moon. You are thousands and thousands and thousands and miles away, and you know that this thing is microscopic and you shouldn't be able to see what's going on in the landscape, and yet somehow, in that same perspective issue that you had with the cat just moments ago, you can see the events unfolding in the town. You see Hanweir as the people of the town turn on each other and they start chasing off newcomers. You see as ritual sacrifices begin in the town, and you see as everyone begins living and eating and bathing all together in this group communal sort of way, like a cult at the center of town. And you even watch as the town itself becomes overrun by these tendrils of plants and just black ichor-veined vines. And that takes us to the rest of Doc's turn, because Doc did not come through the door that Abel is at, Abel was prepared with his sword for the door on the opposite side of the room.
I did say that I was readying my action to run to if he comes through a different door.
He's too far away from there.
Big room.
So you could run to him. You wouldn't be able to swing. Like that's where we're at. You can run to him. You could stay where you're at, and breath weapon or something, but which he would be out of distance for. Or you can run across the room and not attack.
No, that kind of defeats what I had in mind.
Okay. All right, then that makes it his turn. Which I need to open his stat block because laggy monitor is annoying. So chat can see this guy's stat block. So Keith, don't watch stream or you're grounded. Druzzl, don't watch stream. Whatever, shut up. My brain didn't work there for a second.
No, the only time I flip to the stream is if I need to check some
Stat blocks.
piece of the stream that you asked me to check.
Plus,
it's just running in another tab with sound on.
plus 10 to hit as he swings at you, Sazid. I'm assuming that misses.
A 10 to hit? That's
Yeah.
a miss, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's a miss.
He swings again. 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
Nine points of damage as his second hit makes it to you. It's actually just his fist. He's swinging a punch. And as he does this, he glares at you and says, I am done fighting you. This will be the end. I need you to make a
As he
wisdom
says that-
saving throw.
Nat 20.
You're fine. He's not scary at all. He's just a big
So
old
as he
skeleton
says
guy.
that, I'll like crack my jaw and be like, yeah, I'm pretty done fighting you too.
Alright, I need to check something on the Crimson Ring Mail for defeating this guy. Oh! That might already be triggered. Nope. Okay, not yet. Alright, next in line. Heathcliff, it is your turn.
Cool. I am going to move around behind Dranzorg and hit him with 2 short swords. Because I'm going to draw my second short sword as I go. 15. I had to make sure. 25. So, main hand short sword. 21 to hit.
You hit.
For 6 damage. And my offhand short sword that I got from the skeleton. 14 to hit.
Hit.
For 1 damage.
Do you remember to roll those with advantage?
No, I did not. It is alright. You told me after the fact, so I'm not going to retcon it.
Okay.
I will try to... I did that with the purpose of rolling with advantage and then completely forgot.
Yep. Alright, is that it for your turn?
That is it.
Sazid, your turn, sir.
Since he's not at range distance anymore, just take a step, put away my bow, step back, draw my rapier. And activate my rage. Again, just guttural scream of rage.
Which a guttural scream from you probably comes out like this. Ah! You know, because you're a bird.
Probably more of a squawk.
I now have robots running through my head when you try to
Alright.
signal.
Oh, caca.
All right, so what are you doing after you rage, sir?
Wait. Actually get my rage effect on me. There it is. And once I rage, I will go to swing with my rapier for the first attack for a 20 to hit.
That hits.
For 10 points of damage.
The blade drives
Then
home.
as well, I'll go for the. Oh, I can't do the touch of death as a bonus action.
You can
I
because
lost
your
my
claws.
ability to do that. Aha. So I'll go for touch of death for a 19 to hit.
You hit.
So the way we were doing that was I rolled a normal damage for my talons, right?
Yep, start with rolling them normal. And then I will look at your touch of death. Just again to double check because we haven't done it in a while. And then touch of death. You as an action when you make an unarmed strike. Oh no, touch of death requires an action specific. You can do the normal unarmed strike for your offhand because of your talons, but you do not get touch of death on the bonus.
All right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, because it actually says as an action make the strike.
But at that point, I'll action surge
Ah,
and actually go for the touch of death for real this time. That one.
wah, automatic miss though. Nothing fancy happens. That's unfortunate.
I'm gonna use my inspiration actually. Try that again. 12 to hit.
Just a miss.
Hmm.
Now you guys know. You guys have the lowest you had rolled before now to hit was a 14, and that was successfully a hit. A 12 is a miss. His armor class is somewhere in there. All right. Anything else with your turn?
I can still swing offhand without touch of death, so let's go for that.
You
Not as
did.
much-
You did, didn't you?
That was.
Yeah, that was your
Rapier.
offhand.
No,
Oh, yeah, I have
the
rapier.
he did the rapier, then he did the offhand, then he action surged, and tried to touch of death.
So,
so-
can I still swing my rapier or no?
You already
Does
did.
that require an act? Oh. Action surge only gives me one more move. That's right.
Yep.
So yeah. That's
For right now, it only gives, when you hit fighter level 5 or something that gives you extra attack. Extra attack applies to the attack you get from action surging. So, all right. I need to see if he successfully regenerated. He didn't. That's weird. Oh, I know why. Let's try this. Okay, now it worked like it was supposed to. Eclipse, your turn.
Okay. And I should not be incapacitated anymore, correct?
Was it just last turn it went off?
Yes. It's the reaction.
So it happened on the reaction. So no, you are actually incapacitated for this turn.
Okay. So in that case, I will do nothing.
Okay. Presumably you pass turn?
He can't. He's incapacitated.
As you sort of kind of look around, you're dazed from basically zapping yourself with your own archer bolt. You've never done that before, and now you realize you never want to do that again. Abel Gherkin, it is your turn. The man is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares from you to get solidly on him. And that's basically your whole movement. So, oh wait, are you moving your own character?
Yep, I'm back on my computer.
Oh, right on. Never mind. Haha, sweet. So you only moved 5 squares, but perfect. Also, as you're moving towards him and your weapon is drawn, and I assume you have Oathmaker drawn,
Yes.
there's this like inkling. It's a voice in your head, it's your own voice, that just basically says, get in his face. Get mad. Get really mad. This man is fighting your friends again. He's hurting them again. It's all this man does is hurt people. He's hurt people before, he'll hurt people again.
You want me to roll?
You need to deal with him.
On him?
Do you what?
You want me to roll on him or just in general?
You just either or. It's fine either or. Definitely you'll roll your damage on him. If you want to roll your attack rolls on him too, that's fine. 21, it's a hit.
Alright, I'm using my Divine Smite.
Okay.
For 31. Radiant.
Yeah, it automatically triggered the negating of his regeneration.
Cool.
Yeah, you cracked him hard. He is
that
not
enough in
happy.
his face? I actually say that out loud to the voice in my head.
You say what? Is that enough in his face?
Yeah.
You answer back out loud. Not yet. It's never enough. You all hear him answer himself. Pass turn, sir.
You alright?
Yeah. That's on Combat Tracker, right?
Yep, I can pass it still if you need me to.
Please do. I always feel better when you do that.
Meow. Rattling, rattling, rattling. The puzzle box takes itself apart. It's now a pile of pieces of puzzle. The cat is nibbling on the edge of the ticket.
You guys need to hit this guy that hard, as hard as I did.
A groan comes out of the lump of Van Richten on the floor. And it is Dalk's turn. Dalk turns to you and screeches in your face, Abel. It's just a bellow of a screech, and he says, "You'll pay for that!" And swings at you as hard as he can. And frankly, I kind of hope he hits you.
Oh, I forgot. I had a +2 to that damage
For
because of my fighting style.
okay, 25 to hit.
That's a miss.
I'm gonna go with that's telling lies. So base damage that you will take, Abel, is 8 damage. But then, as this blade drives into you, which I know it says fist in the chat box, but it's the axe that he picked up, you feel the weight of his vengeance. This also is going to read as bludgeoning, even though it's not. You can ignore it. It's slashing. It's not going to really matter. It didn't roll. It just dropped the effect. Did it drop it on you as an effect?
So that's something that you would drop on Dalk that when he
Yeah,
rolls
I
damage
know,
would
but it's
go.
not set up like an effect on his sheet.
Oh.
So I know that that's how it works. It just isn't set up correctly on his sheet. So that's annoying. So now I just have to roll a separate 4d6. Another 11, Girk.
Okay.
You have taken 31 damage,
Yep.
which basically pays back the 31 you just did to him. But you've taken 31 overall of your total of 42. You have 11 hit points left. Everyone around you notices this red glow come off of the armor as this last strike drives home. I need to go to your abilities, no, your inventories tab, and look at Crimson Ring Mail.
I already did that.
If you're reduced to fewer than half your hit points, which you currently are, Mara's spirit takes possession of you. From then on, your character has advantage on attacks against Dranzorg, and your attacks deal. You have advantage on all attacks against Dranzorg, and your attacks deal an extra d6 thunder damage against him as Mara screams through your character with every attack. Play your character like it's raging to fight. I'm not going to take control of your character. Your character is just raging to fight, down to making stupid mistakes like you're just raging to fight.
Yes.
Cool. You have been possessed by a barbarian. That was both
Welcome to the
punches?
barbarian.
No, that was just the one swing.
That's all right. He can kill me this turn. It's fine. He can one-shot me. It's no big deal.
He rolled a 10 for his to hit, so I'm going to go with he doesn't. That makes it Heathcliff's turn.
Cool. I'm gonna take a 5-foot step up. And actually attack with advantage this time. Do you want me to just target him and roll straight up?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll just try to stay on making sure I let you read out loud whether or not you guys succeed on the roll or not. Because I also got to remember that chat, that the actual stream can no longer see what you guys roll, so we should call them out loud. So you rolled a 24 to hit. You succeed.
All right. I am gonna trigger sneak attack.
Snick attack. Is that a snake attack?
Snakes.
And for 11 to hit. Or sorry, 11 damage. 11 to hit, yeah. If I do 11 to hit, can I take the 24 damage?
You know what? You got your hit off. You're fine. Just call it good.
I know, and offhand, oops, need to roll that with advantage. For a 20 to hit. Dirty 20.
That is a hit.
For max damage, 6. Let's see here. Sazid's next. So I'm going to take another 5-foot step sideways. And try to set up Sazid. And then end my turn.
Okay. Sazid, it is your turn.
I will also take a footstep sideways. And hopefully be able to hit with my touch of death this time. You want me to roll it on him?
Yep. And you're rolling it as the talons?
Yeah.
You missed.
8, which is a miss.
Forgot to do advantage. Reroll that.
You forgot to do advantage. Reroll it.
So
That is better.
let's
That
roll
is
the
a hit.
normal-
You rolled a 17, so 17 hits.
We roll the normal damage for the Talon.
8 damage. Solid.
Touch of death is
A D10.
1d10.
Yep, a D10 necrotic.
Yes. But I don't think we have that set up properly, so I've just been rolling a normal d10.
Yep, it's not set up properly. Just roll a normal D10.
4 damage.
He takes 2 damage.
I think my touch of death ignores resistances.
Oh, now I gotta go check. Look at you. Look at
You
you.
ignore the target's resistance to that damage.
Well, how about that? You took a full damage. He is really beat up, guys. Like, really beat up. Sazid, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Offhand swing with my other, well, with my talons again. For a 16 to hit.
That is a hit.
And 4 more damage. Well, 6 more damage.
6 more damage. That should be actually reading as 4. When you do that as offhand, you're not supposed to include the stat unless you have 2-weapon fighting as the feat or the fighting style. So just for the record.
Reduce that by 2.
That's me taking back that 2 damage you got extra earlier. Alright. Anything else, Azid?
I will. He's ranged, so Heathcliff's gonna give him partial cover, ain't he? That's unfortunate. I can't get out of the way. I'm out of the way anyway, so no.
You could step 1 to the right there so that you were adjacent for Abel to get advantage. Oh, never mind. Abel's already going to get advantage. He's possessed.
Yeah.
So that was it. All right. That brings us to the top of the initiative. Eclipse, you are no longer incapacitated.
Yay! I could do something now.
It is a D&D miracle.
Hallelujah. All right. So if that is the case, and I am back up, I am gonna go ahead and attempt to fire. Actually, you know what? First, I will cast. Let me double check something. This isn't.
You're gonna guiding bolt, aren't you?
I'm thinking about it. I'm actually gonna cast my, or no, yeah, guiding bolts that gives advantage on the next hit, isn't it?
Yep. So if you guiding bolt first, you'll have advantage on your archery.
Arrow, yep. Yep, that's exactly what I do. I will use one of my free guiding bolts.
So this is a first level guiding bolt.
Yes. Where are you? There's that, and all right. And cast. There we go.
That's a hit.
Hey DM,
15 to hit. Yes.
I forgot to make my wisdom saving throw. Read Oathmaker.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage, Eclipse.
It's 12 damage there.
It's irrelevant. There's only one creature to fight.
Fair enough.
And you don't have a saving throw Because of the chainmail. The chainmail automatically does what that curse would trigger you to do.
Okay.
Okay, 12 damage. Radiant. It is now. Whoever the next attack is has advantage on their next attack, and you have disabled his regeneration.
And I will go ahead and cast my Starry Arrow with advantage.
Okay. 22 to hit. That is a successful hit.
Ones this time. I learned my lesson.
Right?
With a bonus 6 damage.
That works. He has taken 100 points of damage. Like, he has been torn up. He is looking worse for wear. His armor has been blown to chunks that are just sort of scattered around the room, and you guys have seen them melt before, but you guys are noticing them already start to turn into ichor and ectoplasm as he is falling apart. Is there any?
I can still move, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and move right over here next to Kitty.
Okay. You are also aware that Abel isn't looking so good. Abel is bloody himself. Anything else you would like to do, or will you be passing turn?
I don't believe I can do anything else, so I'll go ahead and pass turn.
Abel Gherkin. You are enraged.
I am.
Which basically means, what's your most powerful abilities? You could bonus action Hex him, and you can still Divine Smite when you attack. You could also lay your Hex Blade's Curse on him, which would give you crits on 19 and 20.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do the Eldritch.
You're gonna do.
Divine Smite.
You're gonna do that. Remember, you are doing the most damage you can do in a single swing. You are possessed.
But that's not gonna give me any more damage because I didn't roll a 19 or a 20.
I didn't even see you. You weren't even supposed to roll yet. You got to let me know that you're rolling to attack before you roll. I was trying to describe what was going on with the turn when you dropped that dice, so that one totally doesn't count.
Alright, yeah, I do gain bonus damage.
Yep. So you're gonna Hex Blades, Curse it, as well as Hex him.
Yeah. No, not Hex, because that's a spell.
What's wrong with using that as a spell?
It's not as powerful as my attack.
You can do both. Hex is a bonus action. Your attack is an attack action.
Oh. I'll be damned. Hang on, let me read it.
And Hexblade's Curse is a non-action. I'm pretty sure. Now I gotta look. Oh, it is a bonus action to Hexblade's Curse it. So would you take the Hex for bonus D6 or the higher chance to crit?
I would do the Hexblade's Curse because when he dies, I get healed.
Fair enough. Hexblade's Curse instead of Hex. You crit on a 19 to 20. You have advantage on your next attack. You do a bonus D6 thunder damage, and as well as bonus equal to your current proficiency bonus, thanks to the curse.
I'm just trying to figure out which button I hit to activate the Hexblade's Curse.
2. You don't have to activate any on it. Just roll with advantage, and go ahead and or just roll with advantage for right now. For your attack roll. You hit. It is not a crit. So roll your normal damage. Are you divine smiting?
Yes, I am.
When you're done rolling your divine smite and everything, make sure you trigger your divine smite on your character before you roll your damage. Before you actually drop your dice, down in the little modifier box, I need you to put 2 down there.
Okay.
And then roll your damage, and then roll another d6. Because the d6 thunder damage from her Banshee scream. Well, go ahead and roll that extra d6, but 24, 25 damage on that turn alone, and 31 on the turn before. To be fair, you only did about a third of his health by yourself, but he is crumpled onto the ground, his armor scattered into ephemera and goo.
And I just get my warlock level, which is, I believe, 2, plus my charisma modifier, which is like 70,000 or 4. So I just gained 6 more hit points.
Nice. I will heal you. You are still technically enraged and wanting Dalk dead, so you are stomping about in the scattered minutia of his armor. So that is what Abel is doing, which I guess will go ahead and include the death of Dalk. So for bonus stomping damage, we won't do death saves.
If that's the case, I will go without armor from now on.
It's only because you're currently enraged. It hasn't worn off yet.
It doesn't wear off when he dies?
When combat is successfully over, yes. He's not dead. Things have death saving throws.
That's right.
So you're currently stomping in his remains. While you're stomping in his remains, Eclipse, you were leaning down to pick up the cat, so you see Knit, or deal with the cat, you see Knit is chewing on this thing, and a voice in your head goes, What's Sia? What's what's this word? On this paper that it's chewing on. You don't get to answer yet. It's not your turn. Hold on. Heathcliff. He's splattering in the goo.
I am gonna let him. He's never liked Dalk to begin with. I'm gonna turn to our friend and make sure he's okay.
He is unconscious, like 0 hit points unconscious. Without a medicine check, even right away, you could tell he needs to be stabilized.
Can I am not trained in medicine. Can I attempt to stabilize him?
You certainly can.
All right. I am going to attempt to stabilize him. Or not.
You don't know the first thing about what you need to do to stabilize him.
You know what? I'm not leaving that with a nat 1 because that could be potentially bad. So I'm going to use my inspiration and end up with the 16.
You're able to help him catch his breathing, and you realize very quickly that he has a broken rib, and it's very likely that was impacting his breathing. So you adjust how he's laying, and his breathing sort of stabilizes, and he seems like he'll probably be okay. Would you like to pass turn?
Yes.
Sazid, he's stomping in the muck in front of you.
Are you okay there, Abel?
Unresponsive.
All right, let him be. And yeah, I'm gonna go see what the cat's doing
Ah,
and probably take the puzzle box pieces away because it just seems unsafe.
I mean, they're just sort of scattered on the floor under the chair.
I'll grab them and try and put them back together.
Roll me an Arcana check.
16.
As you begin assembling the pieces of the puzzle, they start to glow, and as they glow, this green-gray mist begins to drift out of the puzzle with each piece you begin to assemble. To the point that it starts spilling out to fill up the room, not unlike how the book did. And that is the perfect spot for us to take us a bio break. We'll decide what we're doing during that, and we'll come back to you guys in just a moment. I hope everybody on stream is enjoying what you see. We will be right back. Hello, we are back, we are back, we are back. I had to say something 3 times, especially while we're dealing with supernatural stuff, with Friday the 13th just a few days ago and Halloween just a few weeks away. Exciting, we'll actually... You guys are in an ad break while I'm saying goodbye. That is so rude. I'm so mad right now. I'm judging all of you. It's not notifying me in OBS when we're on. It's supposed to notify me when we're on ad breaks, and it didn't. That's unfortunate. Well, we're back now. All right. So here is the kicker. We have a cliffhanger. I like cliffhangers. Everybody loves cliffhangers because they give us somewhere to pick up from. Today, our players learned so much about the rules of the universe that they're in. There's this weird multiverse of these domains. Only some people can see outside of the skin of them, but if they're part of the story, they're just sort of locked into it. What other secrets will the domains unveil? Our players will learn next time, especially as one of them begins to solve a puzzle and the familiar green mists pull out. Now, I do want to say I hope everybody had fun tonight. I know it was a short session after being gone for so long. A couple of glitches aside, I think this was a good stream. I think we got a lot done, at least as far as the technical part of getting back underway. Streams will return to normal this week. I'm pretty excited about something's talking about who, what now?
Did you remember to take the lens cup off the camera?
Well, since I'm not running a camera, I'm pretty sure I'm okay.
I was joking.
But either way, I hope, like I said, everybody has enjoyed it. We had some, what was I saying? Fun reveals. The cat. What is going on with Nitsid and its strange telepathic voice and its understanding of things beyond its kin. Its knowledge and power so much that it frightens even the remnant of the Eldrazi that has come from Innistrad with Eclipse. What about this Van Richten and the things he's told? Our players will have to learn all about that next time. Presuming they don't all die as they jump once again through another doorway thanks to this puzzle. I want to say I appreciate everybody for coming out. Don't forget to check my links. I hope you guys had a wonderful time, and I will catch you all next time. See you later.